Hey folks, Jim here, aka Pal Ever Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another issue of Mortal Realms magazine. As per usual, if you like these videos, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and drop a comment down below. It is always greatly appreciated. Now, we're on issue 43 and we've got another bumper crop of Stormcast Eternal figures here. So we have a Siege Blister, we have an Incantor, we have Evocators, we have a couple of Sequitur Primes, we have a Castigator Prime, and we have some other bits and pieces as well on there. Really good stuff. Definitely a value issue, this one is, which is pretty cool. Going into the issue itself, of course, we're greeted by A Thousand Storms Part 6, so more history about the Stormcast Eternals. So, in the cities of Sigmar, some storm hosts resort to brutal justice in order to root out agents of the dark gods and halt the spread of chaos. Meanwhile, the lingering effects of a necroquake result in deadly living spells, and in Shyish, Sigmar rallies his forces against Nagash's undead legions. So, with this, it's kind of giving you a bit more kind of backstory behind the Stormcast Eternals and all the different chapters and chambers and everything like that. So, the artwork there is of Torglug the Despised, who was once a servant of Nurgle, but became reforged as Tornus the Redeemed, a Knight of Venator and hero of Hallowed Knights. You got a bit of information about the Purge of Vindicarum. In the Caldera city of Vindicarum, events come to a head when the Celestial Vindicators execute several citizens on the spot as punishment for thievery. For them, acts of crime and rebellion are but the first step on the road to open chaos worship. So, the Celestial Vindicators are quite tough buggers, and they are kind of, a little bit more known as being a bit quite cold-blooded and crazed, bloodthirsty killers, even though they do serve, of course, the God King. You got a bit more artwork on here as well, so you've got the Vindicarum, which just explains a very short summary of Vindicarum and the Purge of Vindicarum and the Celestial Vindicators. Smaller bit of artwork of Tornus the Redeemed and Lorus Grim, the Lord Castellant, as well, who mercilessly hunts down the followers of Chaos. So, got some pretty cool stuff on there as well, which is pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. The story revolving around Tornus is a pretty good story as well, and definitely worth a read if you ever get to pick up that novel. Then moving on, we've got a page, of course, about one of the major Mortarchs of Death. We have Archon the Black. Archon the Black is the greatest of Nagash's many students. He is an arch necromancer whose dominion over the dead would be unmatched were it not for the godly power of his master. He serves with unflinching loyalty, performing tasks that the Supreme Lord of the Undead would entrust to no other. So, Nagash is quite loath to trust any being, but if he were to depend upon any one servant, it would be Archon the Black. Bearing the title of Mortarch of Sacrament, Archon has served his Dark Master for as long as any can remember, and over the ages he has been privy to many of the great necromancer's most closely guarded secrets. So, Archon the Black, really cool kind of character in the history and the lore of Nagash and the Undead, of course, in the Age of Sigmar. He also did appear in the Old World as well, so a pretty cool bit of backstory there. The artwork is very nice as well. I must admit, I do like that artwork. It's a really cool bit there of Archon being alongside a lot of the other undead, mainly the skeletons and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. On the other page though, of course, you've got that picture of the actual model, which is a really nice model. Pretty cool, riding around on the Dread Abyssal, which is a really cool mount that he is kind of going around on, which is Razarak. So, good old. So as you break it down, you can break down the model into these kind of main core pieces. So you've got Kanesh Arn. So Archon wields Kanesh Arn, the Staff of Spirits. This weapon can cause enemies to age centuries in an instant, their bodies crumbling under the weight of their armour. Then you got information about Razakra, Razarak, can't even speak. The Doom of Traitors, Razarak, is a dread abyssal, an undead steed gifted to him by Nagash. Should any foe get close enough to strike at the Mortarch, Razarak tears them apart with its ebon claws. And then he carries a sword which is Zift Kar. The Tomb Blade is a weapon forged by Nagash's own hands. The deadly blade was awarded to Arkan along with Kajakan, and when he was reborn as an undead Lich King. So carries that sword along his back, which is pretty cool. In all honesty, you don't hear many stories about him actually using it very often, but he has it there to protect himself and to slay mortals, of course. And then a bit more information about him as well, and the ancient allegiance as well that goes along with Nagash, which is pretty cool and very, very cool. So, on these pages, of course, you've got your how to build stuff. Going to be very, very handy because there are a lot of little parts with these models. So you have the Knight Incantor, which is a pretty cool model as well. You have the Evocators listed on there as well. So there are 2 Evocators. We have 2 Sequitur Primes in there, a single Castigator Prime, and we also have the Ballista Crew and the Siege Ballista. These bases are not moulded bases as well, they are normal plain bases, so get your Sterling Mud out, have fun with it, put a few skulls on there. If you've got static grass, put a bit of static grass on there if you want to. You can make it look really, really nice. Entirely up to you how you want to do your base. Just make sure that you're fitting it in with the rest of your models and it will kind of make the army work, which is the main thing. You go how to paint section. By now, in all honesty, you know how to paint Stormcast Eternals. It's fairly easy. Have fun with it. Do it how you want to do it, mate. You know, to fit into your army that you are building. Or if you want to try something different, you can always try something different. Why not? So, it will go through a lot more of shading your models, though, of course, and everything like that. Kind of trying to coax you for better, kind of a bit more kind of depth and in kind of different ways of painting, including highlighting and relayering as well, which comes in very, very handy and makes your model stand out a little bit better, which is always good. But yeah, in all honesty, you can't go wrong if you're following this guide. It's fairly easy to do, and you'll get some very nice looking models if you are following the guide. They'll still look pretty decent, they'll look pretty cool like that. Very, very generic for Stormcast. So if you want to be adventurous, try something else. Why not? And then, of course, you've got your battle plan. Well, your battle plan, yeah, essentially for it, which is the battle for Glittermine. For the Glittermine, should I say? So countless wars have been fought over Shamanite, the realm stone of Shaman, for it possesses great arcane power. In the western foothills of the dented peaks lies the Glittermine, a network of tunnels thick with raw Shamanite. The dead cannot be allowed to obtain such a prize. So, this is all about protecting kind of strongly magical arcane items and stone and stuff like that. And it will literally pit your Nighthaunt army against the Stormcast, of course, on a couple of the Gyran maps on there, which you can flip over. So you will want 4 objectives, and you will need, for Nighthaunts, you will need your Guardian of Souls with Nightmare Lantern, Spirit Torment, Lord Executioner, 2 Chain Ghasts, 10 Dreadscythe Harridans, 15 Chain Rasps, and 9 Glaive Wraith Stalkers to go up against your Knight Incantor, 3 Castigators, 2 units of 5 Sequiturs, 3 Evocators, and Celestar Ballista. And yeah, have fun. It is basically capture the objectives, kill all your opponents, and yeah, have fun with that one. So not bad at all. And yeah, that's it for this issue. You've got literally next week, Christmas week, new as well. So you have issue 44 coming out, which will be in the UK, of course, mainly. Australia and New Zealand get it a little bit later, unfortunately. But we have Lycaron, the Executioner, cool model from the Nighthaunt range, really, really nice looking. For week after, we have 2 paints. We just get a couple of reds. We get Wild Rider Red and Wazdaka Red. Both very, very handy to have. But unusual to get two red paints in the same issue, considering we already have Khorne Red and Mephiston Red, which is, yeah, fun. But they'll come in handy, which is the main thing. That's it for this week, then. So, another decent issue, another bumper crop of models. Pretty decent. Definitely worth every penny of the $7.99 that you're paying in the UK. In Australia and New Zealand, I'm guessing it's exactly worth it as well, because you will be getting quite a bumper crop. $19.99 over in Australia and New Zealand. Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly what Games Workshop's pricing is like over there, but I can imagine if it's like the US, it includes a bit of a markup, so it could be definitely worth getting this issue for their models over there as well. Other than that, that's it. I will see you next week. There should be a painting video coming soon. I just need to record voiceover for it. I was going to do it the other day, but I was really, really tired, and yeah, every time I talked I was yawning, so not very good. Right, anyway, I've bored you all long enough. Have a very good evening, and I will catch you very, very soon. Bye bye now.